Straight ahead on 12 News, eyes on a big prize in New Hope. Plus, plans for a luxury apartment complex in Brooklyn Park.
It's a product that you're not going to find in the northwest suburbs.
But first, what the Plymouth police chief calls a staggering number of DWI arrests and the place where most offenders appear to be coming from. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow.
And I'm Mike Johnson. Data on DWI arrests put a Plymouth bar in an unfavorable light. Cowboy Jack's recently had a restriction placed on its liquor license because of a high number of incidents tied to the establishment. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
There's nothing wrong with sipping on an occasional beer or two, but Plymouth officials say some customers at Cowboy Jack's have had way too many spirits.
We were seeing a problem with Cowboy Jack's where they were having many police calls to their establishment.
Now, Plymouth police say they got concerned last year after they started collecting data from people they pulled over for DWI and other crimes. They asked those folks where they had their last drink. A large number of them pointed to Cowboy Jack's.
There was a person that had fallen down and hit their head because they had too much to drink.
Plymouth police gave us this chart, which shows 57 alcohol-related incidents where people were asked to identify where they had their last drink. 43 of those cases were at Cowboy Jack's.
Statistically showing they're looking like they're over-serving.
Cowboy Jack's management talked about the alcohol-related issues at a Plymouth City Council meeting.
We can have somebody walk through the door acting very normal and talking just fine, and they might have just had, a half a bottle of vodka someplace.
Cowboy Jack's says they've always had a number of things in place to handle customers who've had way too much to drink.
We either try to keep them in the establishment, give them water, give them a pop, give them a coffee, get them something to eat.
Both sides agree. Everyone should drink responsibly.
Well, obviously everybody needs to have personal responsibility when they're consuming alcohol, and that responsibility lies, with them. So obviously make plans if you're going to have a night out.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The City Council recently placed a restriction on the bar's liquor license. As a result, Cowboy Jack's cannot have 3 police incidents in 3 months. Otherwise, it could lose its liquor license. The mayor says they're not threatening to take away the bar's liquor license. They want to work with them.
In Hennepin County, electronic cigarettes will now be treated like actual cigarettes. The county board approved a ban on e-cigs that is actually more restrictive than state law. Hennepin County's ban includes all places where smoking tobacco is prohibited under the Minnesota Clean Indoor Air Act. Places like restaurants, offices, and stores. While most county board members believe it will reduce potential threats to public health, Commissioner Jeff Johnson argued the evidence just isn't there.
Most of the people that I know that use these devices are using them in lieu of smoking cigarettes, or in some cases to help them quit, which is what I think everyone in this room would agree is a good thing. But I think we're making it just a little bit harder today to do that, which just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
As I said before, the argument was made and won on the federal level that these are not cessation devices, so I don't think on the local level we can now say they are cessation devices.
The county's ban on e-cigarettes takes effect March 10th.
Minnesota's largest retailer is moving out of Canada and as a result will lay off 550 Twin Cities employees. In Canada, 17,000 employees will lose their jobs. Target is shutting down its Canadian operations less than 2 years after opening them. The cuts are expected to come from the downtown Minneapolis headquarters. Target also employs about 5,000 people at its northern campus in Brooklyn Park. There could be more changes coming to northern Brooklyn Park.
Pending approval, the city could be adding luxury apartments later this year to a site at the southeast corner of Oak Grove Parkway and Hampshire Avenue North. Eric Nelson has more.
Brooklyn Park has a vision. The city wants to turn this empty farmland into upscale apartments.
The city of Brooklyn Park has not seen a market rate apartment development since 1992.
The 610 West proposal is being pitched by the Doran companies. They want to build a 484-unit complex right here in the shadow of busy Minnesota Highway 610. Brooklyn Park's 610 corridor is coveted real estate, and the city wants to make smart decisions on future development.
And that includes having a mix of housing options and making sure that there's places that people want to be and activity and really high quality development.
Brooklyn Park is chock full of low-income single-unit rentals. The luxurious 610 West project will cost renters more, but city officials say it will change Brooklyn Park's image in a positive way.
The project proposal is for luxury, really, really nice apartment development. It's a product that you're not going to find in the northwest suburbs.
The complex would include an indoor pool, hot tub, sauna, and fitness room. Doran Companies is requesting funding for the project, which could total in the millions after tax incentives.
We're talking about using either tax increment financing or tax abatement resources.
Reporting from Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
The Doran Companies declined an interview request, saying it is too early in the process to comment.
The Highway 252 corridor in Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park has long been the site of congestion and traffic accidents. In fact, the intersection of Highway 252 and 66th Avenue in Brooklyn Center consistently ranks as one of the top 10 worst spots for serious accidents. That intersection, along with others farther north, are the subject of a long-term Highway 252 corridor study. Brooklyn Center is leading the way, and Tuesday night, residents gathered to look at some of the options for further study as interim fixes or long-term solutions such as interchanges or a flyover lane.
I think the City of Brooklyn Center has done a lot of work in terms of what's going to happen or what are some options that can happen at 66th Street. I think that as we continue to move north up to the 610s, you know, there's a lot on the table in terms of what do we want that access to look like in the middle.
There's just nothing on the plates right now to do something to fix all those issues collectively. So that is what this study is about. It's here to spark some interest and get some design going to fix those issues out there.
No funding has been secured yet, and the city engineer says it could be 4 years or more before any construction might begin.
With 2,500 new jobs coming to Plymouth this year, officials say the state of the city is strong. Mayor Kelly Slavic says developers, the Wayzata School District, and even MnDOT will all make a sizable investment in the community this year. The city will hire an economic development director to be more proactive about finding prospective businesses. They hope to have that person on board by early August. Also in Plymouth, plans will move forward to possibly repave and expand the Lifetime Fitness and Ice Arena parking lot. However, in doing so, the Plymouth City Council raised a lot of concerns, especially about design layout. Others had issue with the expansion eating into the city center feel and eliminating green space. The current plan calls for an additional 101 parking spaces at a cost of $450,000 to the city. It will now be reviewed by the City Planning Commission.
Robbinsdale schools are introducing a way to provide real-time information about your child's school bus. The MyStop app lets students and parents access live GPS information on their smartphones or computer. You'll be able to learn where your bus is and what time it will arrive at your stop. The estimated time of arrival is updated every 30 seconds and takes traffic delays into account. This time of year, it could help keep students from waiting outside in some very cold weather. The system went live for Robbinsdale buses this week. Coming up, a budget-conscious way to win over your Valentine. That's next in Money Savers.
And then a little bit later in sports, Cooper and Armstrong go head-to-head as section competition begins in wrestling.
But first, from cold to colder, Thursday's temperatures barely reach the double digits. The National Retail Federation says the average shopper plans to spend about $150 this year on Valentine's Day.
But also this year, more Americans are looking for simple, affordable ways to show their love. Reporter Shannon Slatton wraps up some low-cost options in today's Money Savers.
The best gifts for Valentine's Day come from your heart and not necessarily from your wallet. Several local businesses and organizations are offering Valentine's deals and events, so we've wrapped up a few for you. Starting with the kids in your life. On Saturday, you can ride on Metro Transit for free to and from the Minnesota Children's Museum. Then show your pass and get $2 off your admission. You can download the pass off our website. You can renew your vows or pledge your commitment to your loved one at a Golden Valley church on Friday night. Unity Minneapolis will have a 30-minute ceremony starting at 6:30 on Friday night. It's open to everyone. You can bring your family or childcare is provided. Organizers say the ceremony is a chance to pause, reflect, and renew your relationship.
And we forget sometimes why we came together in the first place. So it's an opportunity for us to get together and to recommit ourselves. And I believe it also helps the couple. Anything we verbalize, it helps them say, yes, this is what it's about.
After the ceremony, you're welcome to stay for the Valentine dance. There will be movies as well for the kids. There's no cost for the evening's activities. Meeting someone for coffee is one of the most popular dates out there right now, and to celebrate, Starbucks is hosting the world's largest date also on Friday. From 2 p.m. to close, you can get a coffee and pastry pairing for only $5. Plus, participate in several special events in store. There's much more out there, including several deals at franchise restaurants, coupons from department stores, and a deal from a local bakery. We've rounded them up and posted them on our website, 12.tv. Just go there and click on Money Savers. Mike and Alex.
All right, thanks a lot, Shannon. Some good ideas out there. Right. Coming up, what has many people dreaming in New Hope.
First in sports, playoff girls hockey heats up with section semifinal games. John Jacobson has the details coming up next. John Jacobson with sports now, smack in the middle of section playoffs for girls hockey, and we have a number of teams still alive. That changes, though, every day.
That'll change, right. And the section finals coming up at the end of the week. Champlin Park needed overtime to beat Irondale in the Section 5AA girls hockey quarterfinals last weekend. That put the Rebels up against top seed Centennial in the semifinals. Less than a minute into the first period, Rebels goalie Hannah Ghetto makes a great blocker save to keep it scoreless. But the Cougars strike less than a minute into the second. Annika Linzer eludes 3 defenders and buries the shot in the top corner. That's a shorthanded goal, and Centennial's on the board. Less than 2 minutes later, it's Linzer redirecting the point shot, and it's 2-0 Centennial. Third period, Linzer's shot is stopped by Ghetto, but Gabby Hughes tucks in the rebound. Champlin Park season ends with a 3-1 loss to the Cougars. In Section 5A, the Breck girls were looking to get back to the section final. They faced Orono in the semifinals at Parade Ice Garden. Breck's Grace Zumwinkel will carry it deep, backhands a pass out front. The first try is stopped, but Kendall Williamson knocks it in. That's a goal just 3 minutes into the game. Tied at 1, Cheyenne Harris gets the backhand shot on net. And the Spartans can't clear. Sydney Breza with the goal. 2-1 Breck after a period. Zumwinkel will zip a wrist shot home in the second period. This one puts the Mustangs up 3-1. On a power play, Anna Zumwinkel will blast a slap shot. Cassidy Holzer finds the loose puck and puts it away for a 4-1 lead. And then Breck will seal it. Gabby Billing will score in the third period. As they win 5-1, they'll meet Blake for the section title on Thursday. When they met at the Robbinsdale Rumble, the Armstrong and Cooper wrestling teams were battling for bragging rights. And Tuesday night, though, they faced off in an elimination match in the Section 6-3A tournament. 145 pounds, Armstrong's Zach Thorne will tip Matthew Lohr to his back, and he gets the pin just 44 seconds into the match, and the Falcons are up 21-18. At 170, Armstrong's Brandon Lundeen locks the cradle. He'll get a pin in the second period, and the Falcons go ahead at 39-18 on the Hawks. Armstrong's Eddie Gonzalez is ranked 6th at 170 pounds. He moves up to 182 and gets the reversal on Cooper's Andrew Hansen, taking him to his back. Gonzalez gets a pin, pushing the Falcons' lead to 45-18. Cooper wins a few matches late. Armstrong's Ben Unger shoots off the whistle at overtime at 2:20, but DeAndre Porter will get the takedown and wins the match 4-2. Armstrong's lead, though, too much. They win 51-24, and they'll face number 2 seed Minnetonka in the quarterfinals. The remainder of the Section 6-3A wrestling tournament is Saturday. The top-seeded local team in the section is 4 seed Wayzata. An inexperienced Trojans team has had an up-and-down season, but they've closed strong, including late-season wins over a number of section opponents. That gives them reason for optimism coming into the section tournament.
I mean, I think this is a classic example of us peaking when we really need to peak, and I think we've been doing probably the best we've ever done at the end of the season with the guys that we have right now. I think this is we're really peaking right now. It's really exciting.
The Trojans would love to get a shot at top seed and three-time defending section champion Wilbur in the semifinals. The Trojans have been eliminated by the Cardinals in the past 3 seasons. They sure can't look past quarterfinal foe Buffalo, a team they edged by just 3 points a couple of weeks ago.
We're expecting about the same things, so that's what we're working here in the room is defend what they do and like key on what they don't. So we're just working to beat them again.
I think the experience level that we have, I think the kids really look one match at a time. It's whatever's presented and put up in front of them. I think sometimes that might be a little curse for teams that have a big history of doing a lot of things and being very successful, that they go into a tournament and they kind of pick out, oh, I think I'm going to have that team or that kid. You're looking at a bracket.
Quarterfinal matches in Section 6-3A are at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, followed by the semifinals and finals at Minnetonka High School. Wayzata hosts the Section 6 individual tournament the following Friday and Saturday, February 20th and 21st. That's a good sports for today. Tomorrow, coming up at 4, highlights from the Section 6AA girls hockey semifinals.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you, John. Well, still ahead, we can all dream, can't we?
What has many people dreaming in New Hope and everywhere else when we come back.
A big Powerball prize is keeping local retailers busy selling tickets by the dozens.
A clerk at the Winnetka Shell Station in New Hope says interest in a $500 million Powerball jackpot is bringing in lottery ticket buyers beyond those who normally play. Nobody has won the jackpot in more than 2 months, but everyone has an idea of how they might spend that huge cash prize.
Buy myself everything I want, like shopping, lots of things, color my hair, do my nails on a daily basis, and buy my siblings whatever they want.
I would probably buy a new house and, I don't know, go on vacation.
I'm going to help my sister kids out, and actually I want to do a big charity thing with St. John for the kids.
I guess a lot of people are saying that we'll know if they won because they won't come in anymore because they'll have moved somewhere else, somewhere warmer.
The $500 million prize is the 5th largest lottery prize in U.S. history. And if you're wondering, the odds of winning are about 1 in 175 million.
Pretty long odds, but
You can't win if you don't play.
So that's right.
If you're not here tomorrow, we'll
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's good to wish, huh?
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next, and we will see you tomorrow.
That's right. No ticket yet.